Hello.
Yeah, hi. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Hi.
Yes.
Good
Hello.
evening. Hi.
Good afternoon.
Yeah,
Yeah, we will begin with the session. Yeah,
sure.
can we have your introduction, please?
Yeah, so I have 6 years of Java backend development experience. I had
Mm,
started with a company which is OctaShop. It is a product-based company wherein I work for e-commerce development thing, which is the client there was Tata Click, and use the tech stack like Java 8, microservices, Spring Boot, this architecture with the MySQL as a database. Then I got an opportunity to work with Quantify, which was for a very short period of time, which was also
mm,
including Java 8 microservices and Spring Boot. Then I got an opportunity to work with Oracle, wherein Oracle had their in-house tools for developing the things for the UI part. It has a RAD tool, and the backend again was with Java 8 microservices, Spring Boot as an tech stack. Currently, I'm working with a product-based company which is Mobilium India Private Limited, and the project that I'm part of is 5G steering, and for the project we are again using same tech stack Java 8 Spring Boot microservices, and for database we have Oracle as a SQL database, and for NoSQL we are having Couchbase as a database. We are following the CI/CD pipeline tools over here for deploying the
mm,
project.
mm.
Also, I have exposure for around last 6 months for the AWS, SNS, and SQS, wherein we are like replacing the Kafka using the AWS and SNS instance of the AWS. So yeah,
Okay,
these
okay.
are the background. Yeah.
So you hold any certifications or AWS, or still you're planning for it? Kind
Uh,
of.
yeah. Not holding any certification. Only got an opportunity to work from. Like I have understanding, not in depth
Mm,
knowledge
mm.
as such.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So you said it's Java 8 microservice, right?
Right.
How you connect to DB? Like you said, you have Oracle in your recent
Right.
project.
Right.
Can you explain me the configuration between the database?
Right. So the configuration, each and every steps are like when we are using Spring Boot as a project, we also get a feature of Spring Data JPA. Using that Spring
Mm,
Data JPA,
mm,
the connection and everything is managed by the Data JPA, wherein it closes the connection and opens the connection and manage the entire transaction for us. But to connect it to the actual database, we need to provide the configuration inside the property files. So we are
mm,
having
mm.
the application.yaml file in which we provide the database details, and using that it connects to the database.
Okay, okay, uh, fine. And like you worked on Spring Boot. Spring Boot also you worked on, right?
Yes, using it. Yeah.
Okay. So why we need a Spring Boot application? What is the special feature? Like what we can eliminate on using a Spring Boot?
Right. So Spring Boot is it comes with a lot of features that enables us, to like create a microservices standalone application in a better and efficient way. It has certain
Mm,
dependencies that if we are using, it will make our life very easier. So it comes with
mm,
all the starter dependencies. So using that starter dependencies, the life is much easier because we don't have to manage the versions of the jar. Each and everything is like combined inside that starter application, and the jar versions are not that much, we need not take to care about that. Also it comes with the embedded software, embedded servers, wherein we don't have to bundle the jar and then deploy over the server manually. That is also automated using the Spring Boot. Also it has features of like it comes with the feature of having a Spring Boot starter test dependency, wherein we can execute the test cases writing our own test segments using the Mockito. So yeah, all these features makes it enables it for the usage, and mostly for creating the small application with basically microservices, and exposing it to the REST APIs. This purpose is much easier using the Spring Boot application.
okay. So okay. Assume that I have a list. Some characters are there.
Mm-hmm.
One second. List of strings. I'm just typing it randomly.
Mm-hmm.
So assume that this is my list and I just need to remove the duplicates. I need to get the unique strings out of it. How
Right.
can I do that?
Yeah, can I share my screen?
You can type it here or you can share your screen, whatever you can do.
Okay, I will share my screen.
Okay.
Toggle screen share, entire screen. Yeah, please let me know if my screen is visible.
Yeah, visible.
Okay, so I can stream on this list. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so on this list of string, I will stream on this list of string, and I will apply a intermediate operator which is distinct. So, and I can then apply a terminal operator which will print those details for me. It will only give me the distinct. The
Okay.
duplicates won't be there in this.
Okay, fine. I have a employee database.
Okay.
Okay, the columns are like employee ID, employee name,
Uh-huh.
gender, and salary. These are the 4 columns I have in my employee database.
Right.
I need to filter out the employee who's female. I just need to filter out the female employee
Uh-huh.
whose salary is greater than 50,000.
Right. Right. Okay. Filter out the female employees. So I need to group by
Yes.
the female employees
Mm,
whose salary is greater than 50,000. Right.
50. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I have a list of that employee. Let's say I can
Mm,
stream on that again.
mm, mm,
I can. I need to group by the gender. So
mm,
or if I have to only take the female employee, okay, no problem, only female
mm.
employee, so I can filter on it. I can filter on each and every elements that are there in the employee list. I can get the gender, and that gender should be equals to female,
Equals to,
needs to be equal to female, and e dot get salary should be greater than 50,000.
mm.
Yeah, this will
Okay,
give me the
okay,
employees. Yeah.
okay, okay. And one more question I have is assume that I have a string.
Hmm.
That string, I just need a program to get the second repeated character out of that string.
Mhm.
The string can be maybe your name. We can type your name as Suraj Tiwari
My name has
without
no,
space.
yeah, no duplicate characters. Okay, I will add a S or
Okay, I think your name as like A is being repeated, right? I just want your full name,
acha,
Suraj
then A
Tiwari.
is repeated. Correct.
Okay, so A is being repeated, I is also getting repeated.
Right.
So I just second repeated character is I. So
Right.
from the string, I need a second repeated character is I.
Right.
Mm,
Okay. You need the second repeated character, which is I over here.
mm,
Okay. A
mm,
is not
mm,
required. Okay. Understood.
mm,
I will use a set. Okay. We will keep on adding in the set. Once I get the security of character type. Okay. What I can do is I can check whether the set is empty first. If it is empty, we can add the character. Okay. then have a count variable. I will add all the variables, let's say all the characters inside the set. If set dot add, before adding I will simply check if set dot contains key. If this is the case, if this is the case, and count is equal to 0. If set dot key contains key and count is equal to 0, then count plus plus, else if set dot contains key C and count is greater than count is equal to 1, then return C. This will be in a method which will return a character. Okay, this will be a method that will be returning a character.
Contains C and count as 0. Count plus plus.
Yeah.
Okay, if it is not, count equal to 1. If contains C and count equal to 1, return C.
Yeah. Then it means that first time it is already having, then A is having count 1, and then when I is there, it came here and it returned the character. This is the second repeated thing. Yeah. This way.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. So, would you be able to calculate the complexity endpoint out of this code? Like,
Yeah.
how to calculate that?
Yes, yes. So we are iterating over. So first of all, we are having a space complexity of big of 1. All we have added inside the set. After that, we are having a time complexity of big of n. Because we are iterating in a linear way. We are going to all the characters one by one. Yeah. So it is big of
Okay.
n. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, fine. So, have you worked on any like custom annotations, like how to create a custom annotations?
Yes, I have like created also in my previous organization.
What is how we create it?
We need to like implement. We need to create an interface for that.
What kind of interface is that?
There is one interface. I am not able to recall it, but yeah, I know how to do it. We need to provide the implementation for that annotation in that interface so that it can be reused multiple times.
Okay, marker interface. You want to talk about anything?
Yeah, marker interface is an interface which has no implementations basically, but it is used for like for documentation purpose and for compiler check, like when we serialize the class, when we are marking a class as a serialized, at that time when we are going to deserialize na, it identifies, okay, this is the one who was marked as serialized. So at that time, if we are marking anything as clonable, so the compiler like it is aware about that this will be cloned in, like this will be allowed, like used for cloning, this will be used for deserializing or serializing. So that is the only purpose of the marker interface.
Okay, okay, fine. So we have a why we need a transaction management in a Spring.
Yes. Transaction management is very important in a Spring, because we are having like a multiple. We are if we are communicating to multiple microservices, or let's say if we are doing multiple entries from one table to another table, and if certain things break, so at that time it is important for us to manage those things, because if any exception occurs, we need to rollback things, so that because of
Mm.
that entries we are not adding anything inside our project or something like that. So it is very important to manage the transaction in a very efficient way.
Okay, so assume that I have a class and
Hmm.
it some initiates a DB calls, and that class is like a transaction, at the transaction I have,
Hmm.
and it has multiple DB calls.
Hmm.
How it will behave, like whether on the go, like it will commit once all the methods are executed, all the queries are executed, it will commit, or what will happen if an exception occurred on one specific
Right, right.
DB operation? Yeah.
Right, right. So when we mark it as at the rate transaction, na, at that time,
Mm,
entire
mm,
code that is written, we can assume that as a store procedure thing, wherein
mm,
things are
mm,
started from the begin and in the end. After the end,
mm,
we apply the commit, or if anything goes wrong in the exception, we handle and do
mm,
rollback
mm.
things. So that is how it internally behind the scenes things are like happening when we are applying at the rate transaction. So if any failure occurs, it will apply the rollback, or if everything is successful at the end, it will go and commit till the time that
Okay.
object will be in a transient state, will not be persisted to the
Mm,
database. Yeah.
yes. So assume that actually I need to commit the individual transaction.
Hmm.
I don't want the commit to be happened at last. Like I just want to do the intermediate commit.
Huh.
What changes I have to do in my class?
Okay. First of all, it is not a good way, it is not a best practice to
Mm,
do,
mm.
but
I have multiple table calls. If any exception occur or something, I just want to stop at that point.
huh,
I don't want to roll back the initial parent entries. Parent entries to be preserved. The
huh,
child entries, whatever made recently, whatever exception occurred, whatever error occurred, the entries should be rolled back. How
hmm.
can I do that?
Okay. We can have there are multiple things inside the transaction. So
Mm,
using that we can actually achieve this. uh, there are
mm,
things like propagation and these things. So
uh,
using that
yeah. Can you
basically,
explain me, like, suggest me some method, like how can we handle it?
uh,
You talked about propagation. How
yeah,
it would.
in that propagation we need to pass certain things. By passing that, we
Mm,
will be able to do uh, mm, if not able to recall, but yeah, I can. With some help, I will be able to definitely do it. It is doable. I'm sure about that. But
mm,
yeah,
mm.
not sure about that part as of now.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. And yes. And have you aware of thread local class?
yeah.
What is the purpose of it?
Thread local class is basically made for, so let's say we have a simple date formatter like there, and its instance is creating multiple times, so
Mm,
which will be a load on the heap area in the heap memory, creating
mm,
unnecessary like unnecessary variables. So we can use a thread local, we can mark that as a thread local, that simple date formatter, so that it can be reused by those set of worker threads instead of having
mm.
multiple instances for each and every thread. So one group of thread will
Okay,
be accessing only that local instance of the simple date formatter, and they will be doing the job individually.
okay, uh, okay, fine. Have you means would you be able to explain like how the flat map is executing, how internally, like how it is doing it?
Yeah, flat map is an intermediate the call of
Mm,
the stream API. So basically,
mm,
let's say if I have a hash map basically, and
mm,
that hash map has a value as integer, also it has a hash map internally. Okay, internally it again has a hash map as an key. So to iterate this, I will have to stream on this parent hash map and apply a flat map on it. And from this map I need to like from many to many, I need to like have it into a one single instance. So that is what flat map basically does. Many to many
mm,
is like
mm.
converted into one, so that I can use that this hash map to for the iteration. So at that time we basically use the flat map.
Okay. Mm, fine. So, have you ever used any retry mechanism in your project for
Yes,
anything? It
yes.
could be for Kafka scheduler, something for DB handling. How
Yes,
it is
like
being
we have
handled?
a fallback mechanism, basically.
Mm,
It
mm,
is not actually retry, but it is a fallback mechanism. And in that, what we have done, we have used the circuit breaker design pattern basically. So we are in a closed state if any failure is not occurred, and we have certain threshold percentage, and if that threshold percentage is exceeded, we the it turns into a closed state, and for that closed state it directly sends a default reply to the default response to that service. And after certain threshold of time, we again try to push messages to that service, and if the success is achieved, it again goes to the closed state until the time it is in half open state. So this mechanism we have used for like fallback mechanism we have used.
okay, okay. Have you integrated JWT token with
Yes,
any
yes.
OpenID?
We have like used JWT token in the our project for the authorization part, authentication and authorization
Mm,
part, wherein for the registration UL we are having a auth controller, and which we have implemented it using one request per filter interface, wherein in that we have given the permits to certain URLs. So that URLs are basically the registered and the generate token URL, and other than that everything is needs the authentication. And we have a JWT handler class wherein we create that JWT token using the secret key and those things and algorithms like SHA 256, and we have a password encoder and everything for the encryption and decryption thing. After that we create the token, and for other subsequent request the token is passed as a bearer in the header, so that it then gets validated for each and everything like age and those things and claims, whether that is a right user or not to be authorized and authenticated for the usage of the service. And that is for all the requests that is coming for the other URLs. Yeah.
okay, okay, fine. So okay, so assume that you have an application that is running in production,
Hmm.
and suddenly it is throwing a 500.
Hmm.
Okay, how would you start your investigation?
Okay. It is throwing 500 basically. So it
Hmm.
is a problem with the server itself. So
Hmm.
so we need to
How would you
check.
start your investigations? Kind of.
Yeah. So we will be checking the logs for what meant the termination, basically for
Hmm.
the server to go down. For using seeing the logs, we will be able to see that. Also, there might be some out of memory thing, because suddenly if a application is running and it goes
Hmm.
like down, then the issue can be of memory if all the exceptions are not properly handled. Otherwise I don't think it should be going down. If any exception is not handled in a proper
Hmm.
way,
Hmm.
then we might be then we also be able to understand that by the log itself. So analyzing from the log, and if anything is with the memory, then using uh, the JVM analyzers that we have for the memories, that we can do and do the analysis.
Okay. 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 Fine. So no class definition error. Like, how
Ha.
would you handle that particular exception? Like, if it is being occurred.
Handling low class definition is basically because of some of the
Hmm.
some of the jar which are not in a up to date
Hmm.
manner, or any classes that we have missed while creating the whole jar as a package. So this basically needs a update in the jar itself. Other than that, I don't think there is any way to handle a no class definition. We will have to provide that class definition inside the jar so that it is used. So yeah, updating the jar would be the step for solving this problem.
Okay. Okay, I'm pretty much done. You have any questions or that needs to be discussed?
Yeah, I would like to know the about the project or anything like for the tech stack or anything that I need to prepare for. Would you like to suggest?
Okay, so is it like so the project here is mostly on Java 17.
Huh.
So the Java 17 versions, and it's a banking account that we are looking for a person for banking account.
Hmm.
So it's running on AWS.
Hmm.
You said you don't hold a certification on AWS, right?
Hmm.
So it's like everywhere it's AWS. We are deploying our application, and it's like orchestrated in AWS.
Hmm.
So the AWS is a main factor that
Okay.
we are suggesting people who is joining our account or
Okay.
joining our project to be a mandatory one.
Huh.
And we have to be strong in microservice concepts like REST APIs call
Huh.
and all. So that is a basic expectation we have.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
if I have only the understanding of AWS, so
Hmm.
that is not enough. You like, or if I get a chance, I am a good learner that way, so I will be able to cope
Mm-hmm.
up with things. Uh, yeah, you can like think on that part basically.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Actually, it's like we are on the job. We are learning AWS, and
Right.
certification is being means provided by our company itself.
Okay,
So that
okay.
should not be a problem.
Understood, understood. Yeah, yeah.
What's your total experience? You said
6 years.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
You have any UI front end experience?
Yeah, I have experience on the basically on my earlier organization. I had experience for HTML, CSS, and JSP with JavaScript. Also, I am
Angular, React.
yeah, I am
You have
learning that.
any?
I am learning that. I am a learner on that. I see myself as a full stack developer in some time. So that
Mm,
time that in I am in a learning phase of that, and I would
okay.
like to grab an opportunity if I get, so that the learning is in a real world as such. So yeah, no issues on
Yeah.
that part. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Should be fine. Yeah. All
Yeah.
the best, Suraj.
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah.
for your time.
Thank you. Thank. Bye. Nice to meet. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.